Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and welcome for those of you who are new to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's video, I am going to be doing a full face of all must-have drugstore products. So these are products that you can pick up at the drugstore that I think are absolutely worth getting. So yeah, these are just some of my favorite drugstore products that I will always continue to repurchase. So if you are one who doesn't want to spend a lot of money on makeup but still want to have a really nice flawless makeup look, then definitely check out these products because I think they are so great. So if you haven't done so already, definitely go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You can see all of my future uploads, and let's get into it. Alright everyone, so let's go ahead and start with priming my face. So this is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Mattifying Primer. I am obsessed with this primer. I will say it many times in like many of my videos, but yes, this is definitely one of my favorite drugstore primers of all time. This one has just a nice like mattifying grip that it just leaves your makeup lasting all day long, which is awesome. So yes, this is one of my favorites, and you can actually pick this one up at Walmart. So Walmart has all Hard Candy products. I don't know about any other drugstores. I think some Targets have it, but definitely Walmart. Like if you have one in your area, or you can get it like shipped to you, delivered to you, and it's only $7. So I mean, for a primer that's $7 and you get a good amount of it, I think that it is definitely worth it. And it goes on like really smooth. It definitely has, like, this one has a more mattifying look to it just because it's gonna help keep your makeup like stay throughout the day. So yes, it's definitely one of my favorites, and you know, it's $7, so you really can't beat it. And for foundation today, I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Foundation. I love this foundation. So it is a 24-hour, it says it's an up to 24-hour fresh wear foundation. I think it does a really nice job at lasting throughout the day. This is honestly one of my favorite drugstore foundations, if not my favorite, and this is in the shade 420. So I'm gonna go ahead and just apply this. So the consistency is more like runny than other foundations, but it still does give a nice coverage, which is really good too. Yeah, so this foundation is, I believe it's like $11 or $12, somewhere around that range. So definitely a good price on a foundation, and it is a pretty big bottle. Like the bottle itself is pretty big, so it's gonna last you a while. The only thing about this foundation that some people find troubling, I guess, is that it has a little bit of a scent to it. So it has that like drugstore like makeup smell to it. Yeah, like you can smell it. It's not, I mean, to me it's not, you know, gonna make it or break it. Like I still like it, I'll still use it, but for some people I know that like scents and like in their, especially in their foundation, it's just like a no-go. So, but I mean, if you're looking for an affordable, long-wearing, nice full coverage foundation, then I think this is a great fit for you. If you can get over, like, you can get past the spell of the kind of like, it's almost like a chemically smell, but I'm making it sound so much worse than it is. But honestly, like, I really don't mind it at all. And then once you have it on, you like can't smell anything. So I mean, I think it's totally fine, but it also gives like a really nice full coverage, and you don't need a lot. So I go in with this, I go in about like 1.5 pumps, and I think that's totally fine for me. I do like a full coverage, but I think maybe more of like a medium to full rather than completely full. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite foundations of all time. Always loved this one, and I'll always continue to repurchase it because I just think it's awesome. And I've had this one for like a long time because I mean, I do also wear other foundations, so it's not like I'm wearing the same foundation every day or every time I do my makeup. So it definitely does last me a long time. But even if you were a person who just wanted like one foundation in your makeup routine, then that's it. That's totally fine, because this is also going to last you a long time because the bottle is actually pretty big. And I personally don't think that you need to go in with a lot of this to actually give you a nice full coverage. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito Concealer. This is actually a relatively new concealer. It hasn't been around for that long, but really is an awesome concealer. It has a really nice full coverage, and it has a more creamy texture rather than like a thick one, so it's not going to leave your under eyes like really dry and cakey. So that's why I really like this. I really love the applicator because it is like bendy, so it's very flexible, so you can really like get in those areas that you really want covered. So yeah, this has been one of my favorites, and you know, it is a Wet n Wild, so you can get this pretty much at any drugstore. I usually pick mine up at CVS, but any drugstore has them. Also, Ulta carries Wet n Wild, so they also have it too. And I think this concealer is like $3.99 or something like that. Like it's definitely on the cheaper end, but it's still a great concealer, and I use it all the time because I really do enjoy it. So I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. sponge. This is also a really good option for drugstore sponges. If you don't want to spend $20 on a beauty blender, you can absolutely get this one. So these actually came in a pack of 2, and I got them for $8, so one sponge would be about $4. So yeah, any e.l.f. sponge I think works perfectly. Like they work really nicely. So even like not damped, they're actually still really bouncy. So I actually didn't dampen this one because I'm just using it for my concealer. But even if you were to dampen it, it still works really great. So yeah, I don't necessarily think that you need to spend a lot of money on a sponge for it to be good. That's just my opinion. There are definitely sponges that work better than others, you know, but I think that if you're going to spend money on makeup tools, I would definitely use it more towards like brushes, especially eyeshadow brushes, because those, you know, I really think kind of like make or break a eyeshadow look. I always say, like, if you have a not so great eyeshadow palette, but you have good brushes, then you can absolutely make a look work. I'm definitely not the first person to say that, but it is very true. So yeah, I think that concealer looks just really nice under the eyes. It gives you a really nice coverage under there, but it also gives like a nice brightness to your under eyes as well. So it's just an all-around really good concealer. So then for powder, I'm going to go in with the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. One of my favorites. This is actually relatively new as well. It came out in 2020, so it's definitely a newer powder, but it's still all very good. So I'm just going to take this and go ahead and set those under eyes. And the brush that I'm using is one of my favorite brushes to set under the eyes. It's a Real Techniques setting brush. So Real Techniques also has like really nice brushes for an affordable price. So if you didn't want to splurge on getting brushes, then Real Techniques is a really an affordable brand to get brushes. And they do sell them at Ulta as well as like Target or like any drugstore, but they do also have Real Technique brushes and sponges at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls. So definitely look for those, and they do sell them at a discounted price at those stores. So definitely look there for them too. So yeah, this powder is just really nice because it gives like a nice brightness under the eye, but it also sets it really nicely too. Has like a nice like blurring effect, and it doesn't make your under eyes cakey at all, which I just do not like. I already have really dry like lids, and also just under my eyes in general just get really dry. So that excess powder is obviously not going to be the best for me, but with this powder, it actually doesn't like cake up or show any dryness, which is really why I like it. All right, so I'm going to quickly do my brows. This is the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. This you can get at any drugstore as well. This is a really nice, affordable eyebrow pencil. So, I mean, I don't do anything like really crazy with my eyebrows, but I do like to, kind of fluff them up and fill in the sparse areas, just kind of define them a little bit more. And this is actually a really easy tool to use when doing that, so that's why I really like it, and it's very affordable as well. So I'm just going to kind of fluff these up a little bit, spoolie them out, and then I'm just going to go in and kind of define them a little bit more. Alright, so brows are done. So now I'm going to go ahead and prime the lids. I do like this Milani eyeshadow primer. This is a very, very nice, affordable drugstore primer that you can use before going in on your eyes. So I do really like this. So the shade is like a nude shade, so it's going to match your skin tone. And it is nice and creamy, but it also allows that pigment to really, you know, stick on and kind of last throughout the day. And you really don't need a lot of this to actually give the effect for it to work. So, you know, just I use a little bit on each eye, and that's definitely plenty enough. Alright, so for my eyes today, I'm going to go in with this Profusion Love You So Brunch palette. So I do really like this palette. I think it's adorable. I am using this today because of the fact that it is Profusion, and Profusion is a really affordable brand, and it also is sold at drugstores. So you can get Profusion at Walmart. Some Targets I think have them too, but I see them most often at Walmart. I have actually seen Profusion a lot at like a TJ Maxx or Marshalls, so definitely look out for them there. But definitely Walmart has like a lot of their stuff, so it's really, really nice. Okay, so I'm first going to go in with this shade right here. It's called Waffles. So it's kind of like that like muted like cream color. So I'm going to just put this on my crease. And Profusion actually has like really beautiful eyeshadows, so I do have some other palettes from them. I do have some eyeshadow palettes as well as face palettes, and they are a really nice, affordable brand. So they have a lot of them at Walmart, like I was saying before, but you can also like order them on their website, but they definitely do have some really good options. This is a really, really pretty color. It's actually darker on the eye than it is in the pan. But it is a nice like kind of transition color, which I wanted. And this palette is just so cute. So it's like all brunch themed. So it has all brunch themed names, which is really adorable. I love that. I'm like a sucker for the packaging and like what the palette actually looks like. And the names always get me, so I love that. So I was like very pleasantly surprised with this palette because it is a very affordable palette. I believe this was like $15 or somewhere around there, and you get 21 shades, which is pretty good. So, you know, I was expecting for there to be like some kind of like discrepancies within the palette itself. I haven't tried every single shade, but the shades that I have tried have like really done well. They've performed well. They're easy to blend. They're really pigmented, so I've really had no like complaints about this. And I do have one other eyeshadow palette that I have from Profusion. I actually picked it up at TJ Maxx, and it really performed nicely as well. So yeah, very like an all-around really good like drugstore brand. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this shade called Latte. It's like that nice brown shade, and I'm going to put that right in my crease and just kind of like build up that shade. So I want to get some like definition in the eye. I was going to go for a colorful look today, but you know, I felt kind of these shades calling me, so I just went in with these ones. And that also is like a really pretty shade. It's very pigmented as well. And I do like this eyeshadow palette because it has a nice variety of mattes and shimmers. So you definitely have a lot of options to play with. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this shade down here. It's called Acai Bowl. So it has like a little bit, it's like a brown purple. It has a little bit of like a purple undertone to it. So I think that's going to be really pretty on like the outer corner. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work that on the outer corner and just kind of build up that color. Oh, so it definitely is a little bit more purple on the eye. Actually, I'm going to switch my brush because I'm not liking this one. Yeah, so actually like on the lid, it has a little bit more of a purple undertone, which is really pretty. It gives that nice like definition to your eye. I'm going to try and build it up a little bit more. I'm going to take a little bit more of like a fluffy brush and just kind of like blend everything out. Make sure everything is nice and blended. Alright, so I think that looks really pretty like on the outer corner. I think it gives the eyes like a nice defined look to it. Okay, so all over the lid I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade right here. It's called Bellini. It has like a little bit of brown, but it also has a little bit of like gold and a yellow tint to it. So I think that'll be really pretty on the lid. So it just gives like a nice, really pretty shimmer to the eye. I'm gonna put it all over the lid and really make it pop. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on my lower lash line with this shade right here that we used on the outer corner, the Acai Full shadow. And I'm gonna place that right on my lower lash line and smoke this out a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's called Creamer. It looks like a coffee creamer. And I'm gonna put that in my inner corner. So I'm just gonna focus it here and just kind of brighten up that inner corner. And I'm also gonna put that right under the brow bone, just to kind of highlight it a little bit. Okay, so now for liner, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. H2O Proof Eyeliner Pen. This is a really nice, affordable option for an eyeliner pen. The tip is actually really, really nice. It's like nice and precise. So I'm going to just do like a really fine, small line on my, right up here for my liner. And this is a really nice pigmented eyeliner. Okay, so now for mascara, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara. This is a really nice, affordable drugstore mascara. It leaves your lashes like really nice and volumizing. So I'm going to go in with mascara first, and then I'm going to pop some lashes on. But I did want to show you the mascara and how well it does really work. Alright, so I am going to go in with some lashes. I'm going to be using the Ardell Wispies. I love these lashes. They're a pack of 5, and I believe it's $12, so you can get them at any drugstore. Ardell lashes in general are always, have really been nice, but I do like these because they have the invisible band, so you don't have that really thick black line, and it's also really hard once you have that like really thick black line to put them on. But these are really easy to go on because they do have that invisible line, and they're very flexible, so you can kind of like shape them to your eye and how your eye is. So yeah, I love these. I'm going to pop these on and I will be right back. Alright everyone, so I am back. Lashes are on. I love these lashes. I think they're so pretty. They're nice and wispy. They are not super dramatic, but they're not subtle either, so that's why I really like them, and they're very easy to apply. So yes, definitely love these. And for bronzer, I'm going to be using one of my all-time favorite bronzers. This is the Physicians Formula Matte Minoy Bronzer. So this was a newer, I think the packaging is a little bit newer, but even just the original regular Physicians Formula bronzer is really beautiful as well. So this is, you know, one of my favorite bronzers of all time, like high-end included, because I think it just gives a nice, beautiful, like subtle, sun-kissed look to your face without leaving it like muddy or kind of cakey looking. And it smells fantastic, so I love that. And you can get this at any drugstore, really. So I always usually get mine like at a CVS or something, but they have them in Target, they have it in Walmart, they have it like in all of the drugstores. So for blush today, I'm going to go in with the Milani Rose Powder Blush. This is in the shade Coral Cove. I do love this blush as well. The pan is really, really big, so it's going to take literally forever to hit pan on it, but the pigment on it is really, really nice. You definitely don't need a lot, so definitely go in with like a lighter hand with this, but I think it just is such a beautiful blush. And I do like my blush on like the corally side, like peachy corally shades, because I think that looks nice on my skin tone. So this is definitely one of my favorite blushes, and I think like Milani just like kills it with the blushes. I think that their formulas are beautiful. Oh, so for eyes, I actually forgot to put this on. So this is the ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Exit. So I know that ColourPop is technically not a drugstore product, like you won't see ColourPop in any drugstores, but they they are like drugstore prices. Like they're very affordable. It's a very affordable brand, and the cream gel liners are the absolute best. Like they stay on literally forever. So I love the Exit one, and I think it just leaves like such a nice pop of color to the eyes, and they make your eyes like really stand out. So I'm just going to put this on really quickly. Okay, so yeah, I think that it just gives the eyes like a nice pop, and they make your eyes kind of like bigger and brighter. So I love that. So for highlight, I'm going to go in with the Catrice More Than Glow highlight. This is in the shade Supreme Rose Beam. This is one of my favorite highlights, I think. I mean, regardless, drugstore, high-end, it doesn't really matter. I just think it really is beautiful. Like it gives a really beautiful shine and glow to the face without it being like too textured. So yeah, I think it just gives like a really beautiful glow to the skin. I put a little bit on my nose. Okay, so for lips today, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Liquid Matte Lipstick. This is in the shade Marvelous. It is a really beautiful shade. It's a nice matte lipstick as well. The applicator is really nice. It actually is like nice and thin, so you can really get in those like corners. And I really love this shade. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so if you did want to keep this matte, you can go ahead. It actually doesn't feel like very drying like usual, like some matte lipsticks can. It's definitely not like that drying, like cakey feeling of a matte lipstick, but I do always like a little bit of gloss and shine to my lips. So I am going to go in with the NYX Butter Gloss. This is in the shade Sorbet. Any NYX Butter Glosses are just amazing. I love them, and I thought this would give the lips just a little bit more like pinkness to it. And this gloss is really beautiful too because it is a non-sticky gloss, so you're not going to be sticking everywhere, and it's not like that like thick sticky gloss, which is why I love them. They're super affordable, and honestly I think that I am going to end up getting every single shade because I love them so much. And it is a really pretty gloss on its own, so even if you didn't have lipstick on and you wanted it just to wear it on its own, it still is really beautiful, and it gives the lips like a nice gloss but also a little bit of tint to it as well. And for setting spray, I'm going to use the Catrice Illuminating Prime and Fine Setting Spray. I love this. This is the Dewy Glow one. It is just really pretty. It leaves the skin nice and dewy, and it has that really beautiful finish to it. I'm going to go in with this today. And it is like a very nice fine mist, so it's not going to be like too in your face when you spray it. Alright everyone, so that is it. That is the finished look. I did a full face using all must-have drugstore products. So again, these are the products that I think are totally worth the money and the hype over. So definitely try it and use some of these products, and let me know if you have or you will end up trying them. I would love to know. So definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.